Good morning, everybody. Kids have got the zoomies already on this Caturday morning, as we are finally coming out of the freezing cold temperatures that we have been stuck in for a week. I don't know how people in the extreme north do it. We're in the mid-Atlantic right here, and it was cold enough for me. What you guys got? So we had snow, and we had ice, and then we had more freezing rain and more junk, and then it got super cold. So even though we didn't get anything else on the ground, what half melted froze, so we kind of had a skating rink to live in for a few days. it was interesting. Right, guys. Right, I have Miss Fufu in my lap. There's Miss KT, and here's Miss Fufu with the sunlight streaming in. Say hello, Miss Fufu. Fufu Finny, Miss Finn. Here's my Fufu. Yeah, she's a good girl. And you can see in the streaming rays of sunlight coming in, which is lovely, all the cat hair floating in the air, but that's okay. And then looking out the window over there in the sun is Miss Katie and Mr. Will and Fufu's tail, my Fufu. And the kids have been running amok. Mina and Lucy were just having zoomies up and down the hallway. And somewhere in the kitchen was Chunky Monkey is running around somewhere. But anyway, so it has been a week. But fortunately the temperatures are coming up now. So now I don't have to live in fear of my heating system not working, because that's the other thing that's been on my mind, as little by little everything is starting to break in my house. And that's because I've been here for 15 years. So, of course, a lot of the stuff I bought naturally when I moved in. So it's all gonna probably stop working around or near the same time, because it's the same age limit. So I kind of am preparing for... Oh, there goes Sylvester and Miss Lucy. There's Chunky Monkey and Miss Daisy. So far so good. They did come and replace the roof in the freezing cold. And, well, it was before the extreme cold. But they did it. And they came and took care of it. And in one day, tore the old roof off, got rid of all the crap, put the new roof on, and it looks great. Have I noticed any difference? No, not really. People have asked me, is it quieter now? Is it warmer in your house now? I'm like, no, and no. I don't notice really any of that, because most of that I think is, some of that would be a roof, I'm sure, but most of that I think is due to the insulation and everything you have up in your attic space. The roof is kind of the covering, and it's important, and yes, it does contribute to that, I'm sure, but I didn't really notice a big difference in sound or heating and cooling. So I guess in a way that's good, because that means the old roof was not as close to complete failure as I may have originally thought. But it still definitely needed replacing. The guys that did it were very nice. There was only one rotten board in the that they had to replace of the plywood, or whatever kind of wood they use. They call it deck board, I don't know. Up in the roof, and it's over the area where that leak was in the room. So that's where the roof was starting to fail. It was from that point. But it's a good thing we did it when we did it, because they said it wouldn't have been long before the whole thing started having issues. So it's good we caught it when we did. But of course, them coming unexpectedly and being able to do the job a month sooner than they were supposed to, as such is life. All of my carefully laid plans on how I was going to take care of everything before I had to start paying on the roof went out the window, because they installed the roof a month before they were supposed to. But that's good. It's okay, right? That's life. Say it's okay, we'll figure it out. Right, guys? So we'll see what we're going to do. But I didn't get a chance to fix the car, and I didn't get a chance to spay any of the other cats that need to be spayed yet. But that's okay. It will happen. Right, guys? Say we'll just have to see once we get the first bill for the roof, and we'll see how that plays out between the mortgage and the car and the roof loan now. And we'll see how it all plays out. It's funny because when you look at your finances and stuff like that, and you see what you got coming in, and you see what you got going out, and, you know, with me anyway, I work on my budget, and on paper, it never works out. You know, I freak out. I'm like, oh my God, this isn't going to work. You know, I'm going to have to shut things off. I'm going to have to, you know, rehome some of the cats. I can't. There's no way I can do it all. And yet, somehow, when you actually start just trying to do it, it works. And it's one of those things that never really makes sense, right? You know, the most carefully planned budget and plan it down to a T, and on paper it looks like you're going to end up completely broke. And somehow, with things falling the way they do, and grocery bills falling either not as much as you thought they were at a different time than you thought they were, it kind of, somehow or another, it all seems to work out, which is good. So we're just going to wing it, and we're going to see. We have a vague plan, and where's all the action here? All the action is in back here. That's where all the action is, huh? What you got? Sylvester. Ow, 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 ow. I would prefer you not run completely through my arm with your claws out. That would have been preferable, but okay. But yeah, so. There's Chunky Monkey. So, it'll all be okay. One way or another, we'll make it work. What are you going crazy at, Sylvester? Oh, I see. Sylvester is losing her mind behind me because the sun is reflecting off of my phone. So as I'm filming what they're doing in the kitchen, the reflection from the front of the phone is hitting the wall in the living room, and Sylvester is going absolutely apeshit trying to get it. Try holding it from a different... Sorry if my fingers are getting in the way. And to show you what these goofballs are after. Whoop, the sun is really blaring in here. What are you doing, Sylvester? Was the reflection from the phone freaking you out? Huh? You said, oh boy, it was the best toy ever? Yeah. Because he's 2 steps away from knocking my clock off the wall. Ah, crazy kids. Miss Daisy, my mage of chaos. Yeah. And Mr. Will. Don't drink my coffee. My home is where the cat is. Ooh, ah. Please don't drink my coffee. I have to watch it when I make my fancy frothy milk coffee because everybody comes and licks the frothy milk. Right, Foo-Foo? The nerve of some people. What you think, my foofiness? Yeah. And there's Miss Maggie. Miss Maggie's feeling better. She had the kitty cold for a couple of days. And now she's all better. There's Miss Marigold. And Miss Daisy. Wait, Miss Maggie? Yeah, she's a good girl, huh? So, yeah. So, Miss Marigold and Miss Daisy are the next on the spay list. They have to be spayed. And then after they're done, the only 2 I have left is the babies, Lucy and Mina. And we'll get them done. And then everybody will be completely spayed. And, well, no, wait, Austin. I forgot about Austin. I gotta figure out what to do with Austin. Because Austin is borderline feral. And she's pushing 9 years old now. And just recently, over the past year, I actually got her to come in the house and stay in the house. When she had Lucy and Mina, she kind of lost the desire to go back outside. So, while I believe completely in spaying and neutering all your pets, it's very important. I guess I'm just questioning Austin now because she is, I think, 9 years old, starting to come to 10 years old. And I'm like, being a feral and getting her borderline feral anyway. I can't pet her, I can't touch her. She exists in my house, but she's not like a real pet, so to speak. She's not friendly, but she's a good girl. She just keeps her distance and does her thing. I guess I just kind of question whether or not to put her through the stress and the fear and the surgery when she's almost 10, as it is. But of course, if she happens to get outside, then definitely I have to do it, because she'll just get pregnant again. Because cats never stop. They just keep going. But I don't know. I'll think about it. But technically, she should be done too. But definitely all the young ladies here. So, Marigold and Daisy are next up. And then Lucy and Mina. And then that'll be it, with the exception of Austin. And the only reason I'm not in an all-fire hurry to do it is because all the boys in the house are neutered. So there's no way anything is going to happen. But still, for their own good, it's good to get them spayed. Brightness Marigold. Yeah. Right. Oh, they're going to start playing with their cup now. Let me see if I can spin the phone around. Pardon my hands. I found a empty cup for the one of the cat food things I had from a long time ago. Was a plastic cup, and I dropped it on the floor by accident, and it turns out they all went crazy for it. The sound it makes, I guess, on the floor, they absolutely love it. And I'm like, well, you can't choke on it. I mean, it's a little plastic cup. So they smack it all over the place, and it tumbles, end over end, and they get the biggest kick out of it. And they pick it up by the rim, and they carry it around. So there's teeth marks all over it. It's funny. But they're good kids. So I figure they can't hurt themselves on that. And then I'll just watch it. I'll keep an eye on it. Like I do with all of their toys. Anything they have that's stuffed. Or plastic or something. I check it every day to see. Make sure there's nothing... no piece of it that's about to break off, or something that they can choke on, that kind of thing. And a lot of that, of course, depends on your cat. Some cats, you can leave all kinds of toys out and they don't do anything to it, and it's fine. That they're very careful with it. And then other cats, you gotta watch them every second. Like with Sylvester, I can't leave anything out. I can't use toys with Sylvester that have like a string or a bungee cord or anything like that. Little teaser toys with a wand and the string on there that cats love. I can't even use those in the house, because Sylvester is such a psycho that the first thing he does is grabs a hold of it, bites through the cord, and tries to eat the cord. And I've stopped him from choking like twice. And I was like, okay, you're a lunatic. I can't even have these toys around to play with the others, because as soon as he gets a hold of it, that's the first thing he does, is bites the cord and tries to swallow the cord. So, unfortunately, those kind of toys are not allowed in my house while Sylvester is around, because it's too dangerous for him. So that's why I have mostly these little plastic things. Or it's funny how with cats you make a toy out of anything. All right, now, what are you guys doing? Daisy and Sylvester are fighting on top of the electric fireplace because of the reflection of the phone. It's hitting the wall there, and they both want to play with the reflection on the phone that the phone is making. So now they're fighting each other because they both want to be in the same spot at the same time. It's like perpetually having a bunch of 4-year-olds running around. You're playing with my toy. Don't touch my stuff. Drives you crazy. I don't even know if I'm getting this. I can't tell with the glare on the phone where they are. There's Mina. And Miss Fufu is eating by the water dish there. Oop, there they are. It's Miss Lucy. She's got her plastic ring. I found these other things on Chewy.com. It's called, I think, Crazy Cats. Plastic ring toys. And again, you have to watch them with it. You know, like they play with it crazy, but I check it every day because eventually they will bite it to where a small piece could break off and I have to throw it out, you know, because you don't want them to choke. But they can pick them up and carry them like Lucy's doing right now. And they absolutely love them. They knock them all over the place and go all around, and they have so much fun with it. And they're not expensive either. I think you can get a pack of 4 for like $3.80 or something like that. So it works out pretty good. So I can throw 1 or 2 of those on the floor, and Lucy and Mina will occupy themselves for a long time. They will run and chase and carry that thing around the house for like an hour, 2 hours. I mean, they just keep. And then all of a sudden, it's like you'll notice it's quiet. And you go down the hallway, and they're dead asleep in the middle of the floor. It's like a toddler, you know. They just, like the battery runs out, and they just stop. And you'll see the toy sitting off to the side, and they're dead asleep. It's so funny. So they tire themselves out with it, which is good. That is the one thing that is good about having so many cats, is they kind of sort of entertain themselves. Of course, I interact with them when I can, but unfortunately, I work a lot still, especially right now with Valentine's Day coming up. A lot of people think, oh, it must be so nice working for a floral company with Valentine's Day. No, it's not. Don't ever do it. Do not recommend. It's madness. Because of all the orders that come in, and of course because you're dealing with live plants, it's not like you can make the stuff 4 weeks ahead of time and let it sit, right? So the madness is all crunched into, you know, a couple of weeks leading up to the holiday, or a few weeks leading up to the holiday to get the stuff in the stores in time for people to buy it, you know. So yeah, it's madness. I don't recommend it. But it's almost over, right guys? Say Valentine's Day is just around the corner, or as I like to call it, National Single Awareness Day. Now you're just getting lazy, Miss Lucy. You're just laying there. What you got? Be careful, Chunky. Let me see what this guy is doing here. Hello, Miss Maggie. Chunky Monkey. That is an air purifier, and it is not meant to hold your big old butt. I suggest you get off of it before you fall. Mr. Chunky. Chunky. You in the black and white fur, I'm talking to you. Can you please get down? Come on, Bubba. Get down off of that, please, before you fall. Thank you. That's a good boy. That's my baby. Mama's baby. What's your little goopy eye? Forever goopy eye. Okay, now wait a minute, Miss Daisy. Monkey see, monkey do. That's not meant for you to be sitting on either, Miss Thing. No, you can't have my frothy milk. Let me have my coffee. As you can tell, it's a little after 9 o'clock in the morning here. frothy milk goodness in my coffee. We have to vacuum, don't we? See, we've got kitty tumbleweed everywhere. Miss Daisy, can you please get yourself... Oh, thank you. You just did. Thank you. Come on. That's a good girl. It's a little air purifier thing that I have. I just don't want them... The structure itself is sound. It'll hold them up. I'm just afraid it's going to slide off the end of the electric fireplace thing that I've got here and take them with it. We don't want that to happen. So anyhow, yeah. So work has been crazy, so I don't often get a chance to interact with these guys so much, which is probably why Austin is still as semi-feral as she is, and why it's taking so long for Mina and Lucy to be more friendly than what they are right now. I just don't have time because I'm always working. But I take comfort in the fact that because there are so many cats, at least I know they're not lonely. And they take care of each other. You know, they're like their own little family colony kind of situation going on. They have their hierarchy, you know, of who's the boss in certain situations. And it works. When one is not feeling so good, the other ones kind of check in on them. Toes, Mr. Toes is actually a really big caretaker, which is very sweet whenever one of the other cats is sick. Like when Finny had her kitty cold that she had forever, which she's finally over. And when the others got the kitty cold, you know, if they're sneezy, and, you know, Toes would always show up and lick their forehead and clean their face. And he never got the cold, surprisingly. And I would have thought that he would have been very susceptible, you know, because of the skin issue that he has. I figured maybe his immune system was down. But, you know, he comes and checks on all the kitties when they're not feeling good, and periodically when he passes by, the little kittens run up to him and he cleans them. You know, he's a very thorough caretaker. He's a very sweet guy. Right? What do you think, Sylvester? Sweet guys, which you are not. You are a psycho demon from the 7th level. But I am obligated to love you because I raised you from a bottle feeding perspective. Right. Say you're a kook. Heathen. But we love you anyway. Ever since he was a little baby, he was just a wacko. I'm attributing it to being separated or abandoned by his mom. I don't know if he got quite enough nourishment that he was supposed to get. He was about 10 days old when the neighbor found him in the mud puddle and brought him over to my house at like 9 o'clock at night. And I didn't expect him to live. I really didn't. But I cleaned him up. I didn't have anything to feed him. But the next morning, when the pet store opened, I went down and I got some kitten milk. And we started the bottle feeding. And to my surprise, he actually pulled through. He's a tough little guy. Right, buddy? So you're a tough little guy, but you've got some mental issues. You get anxiety problems. Yeah. See, sometimes you get upset and you hide in the corner and you beat yourself up. You growl at your tail and you snarl at your tail, and it's not playing. People think, oh, he's just playing. No, trust me. When you see him do it, he is not playing. He's literally beating himself up because he's so stressed out because of something. So that's when we have to calm him down, right? And tell you it's going to be okay. It's your own tail. Don't beat yourself up. Right? Yeah, and then he does okay. What you think, Miss Daisy, in the sunlight? Yeah? Miss Marigold? And all the 8 million little cat houses that I have here that everybody can go in. The sun is really like beaming in right now, so. There's Lucy and Mina. They're getting so big. So they are officially old enough now. The vet that I go to likes to wait till they're 6 months old, as long as they're not showing signs of being in heat, and stuff like that. They like to wait for them to be 6 months old and at least 6 pounds. 5 or 6 pounds. I think it's 5 pounds and 6 months old. For the sake of the anesthetic, and all that stuff. So they are just now, this month. Somebody knocked something over in the back. Everybody freaked out. They are just now this month 6 months old. So you guys are now officially old enough, by my vet standards, to get spanked. And then, of course, Daisy and Marigold have been at that age for quite a while now. I just haven't quite had the funds to do that and everything else that's been going on. But it's okay. We will get it done. It will happen. Say it's just temporary. Right? Just temporary. We'll be fine. Sometimes it just takes a little bit to figure it out, how it's all going to work, and then it falls into place. And then you figure out how you're going to get it all done. You guys are silly. They're epic. Oh, Lucy. Don't kick your sister in the head. That's not nice. And off they go. All right. Well, anyhow, I hope you guys survived the freezing cold temperatures. Hopefully it's on the warming trend now. I don't know about you guys, but I am ready for spring, and it's only January. Because this was crazy. All this ice is... I don't mind the snow. It's the ice I don't like. I hate it. Because it makes driving so difficult and walking difficult, and it just makes everything difficult. I have enough difficulty, right? We all have enough difficulty in our lives, and then when the weather makes things more difficult, it just pisses us off, right? Right. But it's okay. See, we are not in control of it, so we just gotta figure out how to deal, right? But anyway, so I hope everybody made it through all of that okay, and that you're on a warming trend soon. And all those poor people out in California with those fires, I can't even imagine. So if any of you guys are out that way, I hope you're safe. And I hope you didn't lose too much, because that's got to be heartbreaking. I don't know. God bless those people for being willing to live out there. To me, I would be scared to death every minute. But they do what they got to do, just like the rest of us, right? So I hope all you guys are okay and everything is going well, and we will check in with you next time around. So you guys have a great week, great weekend, and great start to your week. And we hope you have all the cat hair floating around. We hope you have a good one. All right, be good to each other. Bye-bye.